Hey, how's it going, Seth? And Greg, the tunnel take, what's happening? Are either of you guys going to make it to the Columbus, Ohio show this year? August 7th and 8th? Or, yeah, August 7th and 8th, I believe. Hopefully everything's going okay for you. Oh, yeah, I understand. That'd be rough. One of my brothers just lost his wife last Thursday. No, take that back. Uh, be about a week and a half ago now. They just cremated her today, from my understanding. I'm working on a little. Nope, I haven't used the cutting board yet. She was 73, had diabetes, and she had some other medical issues going on that just. She'd been not feeling well for quite a few months. I'm working on this. Was going to be a Lovat, but it had some imperfections inside the bowl, so I had to top about a 1/4 inch off the top, so it ends up being a little pot. And right now I'm just sanding off the dark stain so I can do a contrast stain on it. I started to do my live a minute ago and realized my company logo was on here, so I had to hurry up and turn it to private. Yeah, it does have kind of a tiger look. I guess Willie's going to be there. Corvette Jim's going to be there. Been a while since I seen Willie, because he got sick after he bought that pipe from me, and was in the hospital for quite a while. But he's back up and at 'em evidently, because he's planning on being there this year. So that's good to hear. This was a dark brown that I stained it before I started sanding. So now I gotta decide if I'm gonna do a light tan color over the top of it, or a light brown. I'm not sure which color to go with. Probably ought to go with something light so it really helps that grain jump out there. Get too dark and it'll probably kind of muddy it. So I'll probably go with a tan, or maybe even a buckskin. Yeah, I don't know if either of you guys noticed, Seth was probably on live the other day. I don't think you were, Greg. Just for paperwork purposes, taxes and such, it's going to be Grunewald Handmade ink now. But everything else will stay the same, just the name. It's the only thing that changes. So I don't know how I'm going to go about updating my YouTube channel. I guess that's easy enough. I can just change it in the title. Instagram, I'm not 100% sure with that. I just recently got my Venmo and PayPal, the name change in there, and the new bank accounts added and all that fun stuff. Really didn't want to change it, but didn't want them turning me into a hobby either yet. I feel like I need the business aspect of it so I can accept credit cards and stuff through Venmo and PayPal. I don't know if you can do that if you're just doing it on a private account. That's the problem. I did a lot of stuff just flying by the seat of my pants. The Doomed Turtle, how's it going? This is 800 grit. That I'm taking the top coat of stain off with. That way I don't go down and take off too much material. That way the dark stain stays down in the other grain that's a little more porous. Florida gal, how's it going? What's the pipe style and wood? The shape ends up being more of a pot-shaped pipe, and it's just regular briar. Actually, this particular block came from Mimo, so that's a wood that's kind of hard to get a hold of anymore because I think Mimo sells mainly to the Chinese market because they just jumped up there in price, shot him a big price from what I hear. I don't know this firsthand, but from rumor mill that I heard was they told him they'd pay top dollar and they wanted it all, and it's just easier for him probably to sell all his briar to one person or one group of people. So that kind of took him out of the American market pretty heavily. I think now we rely mostly on Mano briar. It's pretty good briar too, though. I mean, I haven't seen any problems out of it. Now we're getting in some other briar from Frames Freehand. I forget whether his is I don't think his is Grecian. I think his is Algerian briar, if I remember right. But it looks decent. I haven't used any of it yet. I've got some. I need to break open a block and try something on it and see how it goes. And then I've got here's some Mano stuff right here. Grain looks pretty nice in it. That's a big block there. That one you can't see the grain because it's just the sand marks or the saw marks, but it's got some fine grain in it. And there's a big meaty block. Might have to make 2 pipes out of that one. Well, actually, the briar, this is what they call the burl of a heath tree, but it grows below ground. The burl on the side of like a maple, I don't know. I've never really heard that much, and never delved into something like that, or a oak burl or something. But I think those burls are typically on the side of the tree, and they got all kinds of wild pattern going on in them, which would be cool looking. But there's some woods out there I know you just can't use because they're actually toxic. So I'm not going to be one of them to step out on a limb and just start trying something without knowing more about it. Definitely don't want anybody having any adverse effects to my pipe, so I'll just stick with what everybody's already knows works, and that way I don't take on any additional risk. doesn't have holes in it. Yeah. Yeah, there's usually something that causes those burrs to grow like that, so it doesn't surprise me that you have holes in them. I should have brought some light colored stain out here to put on this. I don't know if you've seen me lately, Greg. I took all that off. What little bit I had, I thought it was starting to look kind of shaggy, and figured there's no sense lying to me. Everybody else could see I was bald, so I might as well just own up to it. But I was surprised by the difference that it made. It actually looked like I had more hair than what I thought I had, but still, it just looked too shabby and unkept. So now we're going Mr. Clean. The wife doesn't get it. She's like, I don't know why you worry so much about it. It's a big change. I can remember seeing those guys with the band. I called it a horseshoe haircut because all it did was go around the perimeter. There was none on top, and I had very little on top, and it was starting to look like that horseshoe haircut. And that's just something that I can remember being a teenage boy looking at that thinking, man, I never want to have one of those horseshoe haircuts. So here I am, shaved clean. Well, thanks, Florida gal. Appreciate it. Taking a lot of getting used to. For me, just to look in the mirror and see myself this way is weird. I'm sure somebody that's not familiar with me probably doesn't think anything about it. And I notice, now that I'm bald, I notice a lot of guys out there that are clean shaven for that, probably the same reason. They just don't want to look all kind of unkept. Alrighty, that's grain starting to show up a little bit better. The no hawk. And then something else I did on this pipe is I've rounded this over pretty well. I don't know if people will notice it or not, but I've seen some Sixton Everson pipes, and I think he was making pipes back in the 60s or something. So I figure it kind of gives a little nod to the older style of pipes with that rounded top. I think it gives it a pretty clean look. Hopefully everybody's having a great week so far. I realize it's just Monday, but hey, we got to start somewhere. To the Pope. Any other time, if you would have typed it right, autocorrect would have changed it to the Pope. All right. All right, I think I'll go in and get some buckskin and put on that, and we'll see what that turns into. So it's up to you guys if you want to hang with me. I'm going to run inside and grab some buckskin. We'll throw some light stain on it and see what it turns out like. I got one. Well, no, that's actually the grain showing up like that. That's what's kind of weird about doing this. You get these dark spots and you think you didn't sand good, but really it's just the grain is just so much tighter in that little area. The stuff that's absorbing the coloring deeper, it's just so tight there, it gives it that dark look. All right, I'll run in and I'll be right back. Hope to see you shortly, and if I don't, I hope you guys have a blessed week. I'll be back in like 2 minutes. All right, we're back. Got a lighter here so we can try to set it after we put it on there. Hopefully I'm quick enough. Seems like this stuff dries so quick sometimes I don't get a chance to flame set it. And just in case you want to know, that's what I'm using, Phoebing's leather dye. And the color is buckskin. It's gonna be our top coat. I'm gonna shut that off for a second. That breeze from it is causing it to dry out even quicker. And of course, didn't really get good flame set on it. and it will change color again a little bit when we put the clear coat on, but I prefer to leave it to set for a day just to make sure the color soaks in good enough. Put another layer of this on. It's so light colored it won't hurt to have another layer of that on there. I don't know how those guys are so quick to get a flame set them. All it does is burn the alcohol off though. Alrighty, that's after it dries. Doesn't look as impressive when it's dry, does it? When you first put it on and it's wet, that's when it looks the most impressive. Thanks, yeah, Dooms Turtle. Appreciate it. It's kind of a little pot style pipe. It originally started out to be a Lavat, but Mother Nature didn't want it to be a Lavat. It had some blemishes on the top rim and on the outside of the bowl back here, which I could have lived with. But then inside the bowl, about a 1/4 inch down, it had some inclusions coming inside there. And I was just unwilling to risk selling a pipe and then somebody having a burnout because those. I really don't think it would have, because I do bowl coatings, and I mainly do bowl coatings not to hide inclusions, but strictly to help build cake, and when it's sitting on a table and people are looking at it for the first time, I just think it looks so much nicer when it's got a finished bowl on the inside. Plus it helps them start their cake out, and it does offer a little bit of protection just from normal, but I was kind of torn whether I wanted to put a bowl coating in there, strictly because if somebody does clean their bowl coating out, which is I'm perfectly fine with, they'll see that the bowls are flaw free, but that one they would have seen the 2 inclusions. With the bowl coating, I would not have been worried about it, but if somebody would have preferred to take the bowl coating out, I would have had a little bit of concern, not too much, but I just figured it's better safe just to keep everything the way it's supposed to be. That way nobody questions the quality of the pipe they're getting from me. So this one turned into more of a pot-shaped pipe instead of being a Lavat. Lavat would have been about a 1/4 inch taller, and that other 1/4 inch tapered in a little bit more, so it gave it more of a billiard look. This is just a little slightly less billiardy looking because the walls are a little straighter at this point. They don't go in as much. Gun stock sealant. Oh, okay. Yeah, we use a food grade carbon. Uh, you can buy the pills, or you can get it other ways too. The way I did it initially when I first got into pipe making was I bought the carbon pills that you can get at Walmart, and it's for taking and helps pull impurities out of your body, I think is the goal, something along those lines. But you could actually, it's food grade, so you could use it on the inside of the bowl. And now I've got this big tub of the carbon stuff that I bought in order to make my bowl coating out of. and then you add something to it to hold a binder, and just apply a light coating in there, and it's very light, very thin, but it gives you a good starting point for the carbon that's going to build up from your tobacco. Put a gloss on it, it's tough as nails. Yep. So been on here for over 26 minutes now, and I'm really at a stopping point here with this pipe. Not sure, I need to probably start working on another pipe. Let this one sit so then I can clear coat it tomorrow probably. Wow, that's kind of weird. It brought out the ring grain when I put that on there. You can see a dark line that kind of runs up at an angle. That's where the ring grain would show up, but for some reason some of it took darker than the others. Some little stripes are darker than the rest. That's pretty wild. That's the neat thing about briar. Even though it's the same wood, you get different effects out of different blocks. All right, guys. Thanks for joining me today. Thanks for checking out my progress on this pipe. I hope all of you have a blessed week, and pipe on.